Hi, welcome back. Before we continue our discussion, I thought I will share three quick points. One is about the name change. So, from lockdown reflections, we have changed it to contemplations in quarantine. Actually, this was suggested by Archana Gambhir, my daughter. So, Gambhir, Gumbeer. We talked about beer, so it connects. Why this name? We'll discuss in the appropriate time. The second one is a quote that she has sent when we talked about the value additions. So it was Winston Churchill's quote. It says, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." I think a valid point. That's a crux of the value addition that we talked about. The third one is about the beer exchange that we were talking of. So you might be wondering, he preached, so and how does he use this beer? Does he take beer? Does he give beer? And I must say that initially I was not doing that, but over a period of time I have started using that very effectively. It helps me a lot. As a trainer, I have a lot of dysfunctional behavior that happens in the class. How do I handle that dysfunctional behavior without shouting at the person, without impacting him? So that this beer helps me a lot. I normally mention about the behavior. This is what I observe. So what happens to me because of the behavior? I get upset, my thought flow is blocked. So in the process, others also are getting stuck. So you also get a profile that your behavior is looking very odd. So many things. So can we desist from that? So it has a better appeal than the normal reactive mode. So, and I have experience in many situations. Now we'll come back to the topic. Understanding others. How do we understand? We said Stephen Covey was finding it difficult, and how can we do it in simple ways? So it is complicated. So what I am going to attempt is make it little more complicated. So let us look at the key factors around this understanding others. Before I understand others, have I understood my own self? Why am I behaving the way I am behaving? I said there is a trigger inside. So what is the trigger? Where is it coming from? So I look at things in a particular perspective. I will share with you. One is there is a saying that all are born equal, but we are not equal now. As we grow, we assume a lot of differences in terms of figure, in terms of intellect, in terms of experience, in terms of various aspects of a human being. So we are different, but there is a one common thread, which is self, from where everything starts. Everyone has a self inside. So on that self, there are some layers. So I'll talk about the three important layers. There could be many, but we'll stick to only the three. The first one is the values and beliefs that are ingrained in you in the formative stages. Like values means honesty, telling truth, respecting elders, hard work, simplicity. These are the value systems. Belief, the eating habit, what I should eat, what I should not, is a belief. Jain food, Swaminarayan food, veg, other things. Religion is a belief, God is a belief. You have not seen, I have not seen. So believe that there is a. So these are all ingrained in our formative stages. Based on these values and beliefs, we take a view of what is happening around us. We may term it as an attitude. So we have talked of self, we talked of values and beliefs, we talked of attitude. All these three things are not visible to the external world. What is visible? The manifestation of all these three things, which is in terms of your behavior. The behavior could be verbal, non-verbal, whatever you do. This is the trigger. There are various triggers which are coming through these three layers. So this is what people see outside. This behavior, whatever we show as a behavior, is it consistent through our life? It is not. It is varying. So what are the factors that are impacting that? We are living in an area where there are 3 E's which are impacting us. What are the 3 E's? Number 1, the environment in which we live, the education that we receive on a day-to-day basis through various means. The third one is experience that we go through every day. So I can't find the 4th E, but these 3 are predominantly impacting your behavior. It keeps changing. So this is the funda. So how does it connect to the understanding of others? If my behavior is because of the trigger, which is through the values and beliefs, attitude, etc., the same thing is available in the other person also. So if I start understanding the trigger, that value system, that attitude, maybe I can justify the behavior and respond accordingly. So how do we do that? So when you start doing that, that's the first step of walking into the other person's world. I said no, instant rapport. So what are the 2 things that will help you? In my opinion, there are 2 important things. One is listen. For a good listening, what you should be? Silent. If you see listen and silent, they are of the same letters. They are only positioned differently. To be a good listener, you must be silent. That is one. How do we listen? Only by our ears? Listen through your eyes. Listen through your heart. Because the person is exhibiting everything. He is verbal, he is non-verbal, and he is expressing his feelings in different ways. So if you use all these items, you start understanding what he is communicating to you. Number 2, never assume. If you assume, then there is a perception, there is a block. Whatever he says may not get into your mindset. I hope I have complicated or simplified, so you will have to judge that. So how do we understand? There are so many things which we don't know about the other person. As I said, listen, don't assume, listen, don't assume. I want to share one particular video. I wanted to actually share a video of a very well-known personality. So I am not sure whether I am entitled to show the video. It could be a copyright violation, though it is in public domain. In fact, I wrote to the person, can I use it, but I have not got a response, but I have to share this. This is the appropriate time I have to share this. So I will take the liberty of sharing because it is in the public domain. So I cannot be as articulate as the gentleman. He is a very well-known person. All of you may know, many of you may know. Gopal Gaur Das. He is a young monk from Dishkan. He talks about various things. So, and you must listen to him. Instantly, I had been talking about various people. I had been promoting Priya Kumar, I had been promoting Stephen Covey, I had been promoting this, Gopal Das. So I think I'll have to go and ask for some royalty from these people that I am promoting. So coming back to Gopal Das, I want to share a small video which will connect to the topic that we are talking of. You might have heard, but I am repeating again for the sake of this particular session. I may not be as articulate as, and he is a very effective person. So I am not saying I am less effective, I am as effective as I could be. So let me come back to the story. He talks about a maths teacher who is teaching small kids maths. So in one of the classes, he is asking one boy, Arnav, I am using the same verbatim, the name also, Arnav. So he says, I give you 2 mangoes. I will give you another 2 mangoes. How many you will have? The boy said 5. So the teacher was shocked. Yeah, this person does not know maths. So how do I teach him? So again I will ask her now, I will give you 2 mangoes. I will give you 2 mangoes. How many you will have? He said 5. He said he doesn't know maths here. How do I teach him? Suddenly he remembered, the teacher remembered that the boy's mother said, mango he doesn't like, he likes strawberries. So I said, let me change the strategy. So now I will ask. The teacher asked the Arnav, Arnav, I will give you 2 strawberries and I will give you 2 strawberries. How many you will have? Promptly he said 4. Yeah, he knows the maths. Maybe I was not putting the question forward. Now tell me, Arnav, I will give you 2 mangoes. I will give you 2 mangoes. How many you will have? 5. So the teacher got annoyed. How 2 strawberries and 2 strawberries will make 4, and 2 mangoes and 2 mangoes will make 5? The boy quietly opened his bag and said, I have one more mango in my bag. So, how does it connect? Most of the time, we assume there is a practical truth, there is a technical truth. So, we go by the technical truth. 2 by 2 is 4, 2 plus 2 is 4, technical truth. But the practical truth is he has got the fifth mango in him. So, my subordinate is not listening to me. Technical truth. Practically, he has something not working in his mind, so he is not listening to me. My son is not listening to me. It's a fact. But why? There's something hidden which I don't know. When we start unearthing that hidden mango, then the assumptions goes away and then we understand the reality of the situation. So, the first thing that we will do is unearth that hidden mango from others, for which I had already told you, don't assume, do listen, for which you will have to be silent. I think I have given you some kind of a opening for you to think. Now it is time for you to go back and search those hidden mangoes in various people that you have been interacting, and you will find it very, very interesting and revealing that you start understanding the person little more than what you had been doing earlier. So have a nice time.